you can see I made a set of templates. So first thing I'm going to do is to cut down these templates so that I can stick them to these acrylic pieces. These are actually 5mm thick acrylic, and I got them very cheap since they are all of different sizes, and I really don't need any exact dimension for these pieces. So I purchased some random pieces from the market, and I think they suited well for my job. So first thing first, cut down these templates, glue them onto the acrylic, and then I'm going to cut them new trusty scroll saw.
So in the template you can clearly see a line running down from the center of the circle, and at the end of that line I'm going to drill the hole, and that hole is going to be used to locate the pin, so that whenever I am going to change the graver with another graver, that hole is going to be used to locate position parallel to the face of the graver template. So more about this thing going to be clear in the upcoming phase. So after cutting down the templates with scroll saw, the edges came little bit wiggly, so I decided to use the needle files to bring them to the finished state, and here they are. So here you can see I am drilling 2 holes in one template, and the bottom hole is equal to the grub screw you are using, or maybe you are using some sort of pin to locate the hole. So in my case I'm using 3mm grub screw. Then I started the work onto the graver holder, and before this I made 6 attempts, but all of them completely fails. So I decided to use this 3/4 inch thick mild steel rod, and since I don't have an access to the lathe, so I decided to do it by myself. For that I darkened the surface of both sides, and then with the help of center finder jig I find the center punch and then drill from the both side, and by doing this I am able to meet in a straight line as I supposed to. At the one end I drill so that I can attach this 10mm bolt, and once this thing fits together I'm going to make a through hole from this bolt portion, and once the hole has been drilled out I'm going to file down the surface so that the graver can be inserted inside that holder. To hold the graver at its position, I mark the point and then center punch. Then I drill it with 3mm drill bit, and then tap 4mm thread inside that hole so that graver can be locked down to its place. To reduce the bulkiness of this holder, I hold this into my drill, and then with the help of angle grinder I gave it a slight taper, and now the holder is ready for locating the pin. So once the tapering process is completed, I took one of the template and hold the graver holder inside that template and make sure that one surface is going to be flush parallel to the base, and then I mark the location of the pin and then drill out that pin hole and tap it with the M3 grub screw. To reduce the bulkiness of the nut, I hold it into the drill and grind perimeter with the help of grinder. And now you can see how this thing is going to locate. And the bottom edge of the holder is parallel to the bottom of the template, so this is going to provide a good result. Then we need something to keep the graver to the exact length so that 45-degree angle can be made repeatedly. And for that I measure the distance from bottom of the template to the tip of the graver, and in this case the distance is around 50mm. And then I measure the distance from top of the holder to the tip, which is around 27mm, and this is the distance we need. And I cut down this copper tube to the required length, and this piece is going to be used to cap the graver to the required length every time, so that we can achieve that angle repeatedly every time. And this is the way how you can tighten the graver to its position. And now this thing is ready to do some work. For the material I am using two different kinds of material, high speed steel and tungsten carbide. So to the carbide blanks you can see there is some kind of coating over them. So first thing I'm going to do is to remove that coating by grinding them, and this is I also going to make the surface flush. Then I start cutting down these blanks to the usable length. In this case I am cutting down to around 3 inches in length, and I score a line around the perimeter of the blank and then snap that off with a little amount of force. So once the graver is cut down to the required length, I clean off the end with the help of this diamond wheel and then start the shaping process of the graver. And the main purpose of the smaller template is used to remove the excess of material. So during the facing operation or the polishing operation, it didn't take too much time because of the smaller area of the face of the graver, because only tiny amount of point is used for the engraving purpose. And here you can see the shape after the initial grind. There is a pentagon like shape formed, and if you check that, it start biting the nail. So making the round tip graver is slightly different because the cutting edge is slightly round in shape, and here you can see how I roll that bottom edge of the graver. For the round graver, I slightly flattened the surface so that it would be easy for me to align them into the graver holder. And along with this, I made some graver which is going to be used for the texturing purpose, and I just hold them into my drill and grind the tip into the taper shape onto the angle grinder, and this kind of shape is formed, and then I heat treat these texturing bits. So now for the sharpening purpose, I'm using this 3000 grit ceramic stone and 1000 grit diamond plate. So with the bigger template, I am going to make the face, and here you can see the 45-degree face is formed. And then hone that face onto 3000 grit ceramic stone. To check the sides of the graver, I am using this visor, and this will help a lot in this project. And for the engraving purpose, I am using Fordham number 15 hammer handpiece, and this holder is very appropriate for this kind of job. So to mount the graver inside that hole, I need to round off the other end of the graver, so I use this diamond wheel inside the Fordham rotary handpiece. To keep all the graver nice and tidy, I use this block of resin, and this is made from the leftover resin material from my previous resin projects. And then I start the layout for the graver holes. Once the layout is completed, I punch the hole location and then drilled out those holes. Once the tools are finished, I draw some layout of the scrolls and start engraving the surface, and the result is in front of you. Definitely there is a lot of practice needed in this field, and I think by doing practice and more practice, I am going to hone this technique. So if you like this overall project, then definitely hit the like and subscribe button, and also don't forget to share this video. Till then, have a great day.